Hi there! In this daily video, we're going to look at TAO and see where the bulls and bears are battling around. Remember, these are education content only, not financial advice. And technical analysis is just an aspect to understand the collective trade behavior. It doesn't contribute to the success of a project. So these are the factors I would consider to assess the project success. So feel free to take a screenshot. Let's dive into the chart. Here, the price, after confirming it has fallen through the medium-term uptrend that started back in early February. Now that it continues its path, and today, after confirming, dropping below the green key level 268, it continues to travel along the downtrend support. Okay, I have to make a little bit of adjustment because yesterday the wick got slightly lower. So adjust it slightly just to make sure we capture most of it. Okay, so the dates, the indicated dates doesn't change much. We said if the price managed to stay above the green key level, which there's still a chance for the price to come back up in the next 3 to 4 days, then the 2C's condition can happen here. One is continue with the downtrend. The other C is change, meaning turning the downtrend back to at least a sideways above the green key level. Okay, that's what it did back in March when it first came up. It traveled along the green before it shot a little bit higher. Now that it is continuing with the downtrend, assuming this is not going to change in the next few days, but if we look at the volume, it is actually staying very low. So the bears aren't really hitting very hard. So even if it continues to drop, if the volume stays low, when it comes to the 235 support level that provided support for about 2 weeks time back in mid to late April, then eventually it's likely to travel along this line and get into the next triangle. Okay, that points to the 28th of May, meaning when we get closer to that date, the 2C's decision point comes again. If there's the macro environment, the project itself doesn't have any issue, then whatever happened in late April, with the bounce to test higher level would happen again when we get closer to that date. And of course, first it has to challenge the 268 key level, like what it did on 1st of May. Okay, it stopped right around there and then continue to challenge up. Okay, receiving resistance again on the 5th at around 300, the second key level. And eventually, back then, it was the uptrend center line that the price surge stopped. Okay, now that it has come down, if it bounces, I would see the green key level and the previous uptrend support becomes the resistance. Okay, so that's one way of seeing it. If the price really bounces from the 235, if it breaks below, okay, it is going to go back to test 180. Like what it did in February. But whether that's the case, whether that's going to happen, because back in February, there are anticipation of potentially war coming in. I'm not sure whether there are already people knowing that in the beginning of February. But for us, would people expect some bad news coming? Okay, when we get closer and closer to the end of the month, then there's a chance for this to go further down to test first 220. But looking at what happened over here, there wasn't much force around that level when the price came down back in late Jan. So that's a bit of a risk if the price falls below 235. All right, that's for TAO for today. And if you're a channel member, you get 24 hours access earlier to these daily videos. If you are not a member yet, feel free to join the other members now. See you in the next video. Thank you.